Hey guys, I'm at a Starbucks just outside of Mojave. Sorry for the wind and the noise and the wires, but I wanted to take advantage to show you these clouds. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, and I'm trying to break the wind here standing next to a dumpster. So that's probably where you hear the metal here. You hear it? Anyway, should 401k savers have access to private equity? What do you guys think? You think that'd be a good thing to do? Private equity. Yeah, that's what all the bigwigs have, right? You're talking about hedge funds. You're talking about all that crazy stuff. You're talking about a big truck coming through here who's like ruining my video. Shut the hell up, man. So private equity. What is private equity? First of all, give me comments. Do you think that'd be a good thing for us to have? Look at those clouds. Look at that. Thunderheads, baby. Thunderheads in Mojave, the high desert. You think that'd be a good idea to have access to private equity? You're talking like hedge funds. Yeah, you're talking about all that stuff that we as normal investors, and again, I'm shouting, I know, but there's a lot of noise. Hopefully the payoff is worth it. A lot of stuff that, normal investors like us wouldn't have access to. Hedge funds. When's the last time you said you had a friend, someone who was on moderate income say, yeah, I am talking about investing in hedge funds. Look at that. Any thunderbolts coming down? Are they going to hit me in the head? No. Doesn't usually happen, right, for people on moderate income. So what is private equity? You can break down private equity into three things. Number one, venture capital firms. What is that? You're investing in startups, okay? Now, as normal people, moderate income people, do you think it'd be good to have access to venture capital firms? Okay, now there are certain ways you can do that now by taking out private shares, and they share the risk. But we're talking about switching it all onto the individual. And as most of you probably know, if you are investing in, startups, 90% of those startups fail. Okay, 90% of those fail. Okay, I'm coming over here. Get totally out of the wind. Hopefully that'll help some. I think it's better right here. Yeah, as one person investing in that, you got a big chance of failing, right? If you can get into those share funds, that's a different story. What's the second part of private equity? Private equity firms. Okay, what they do is they buy out companies that are distressed. Look at that, man. It is like almost straight above me. That's got to be going up like 20, 30,000 feet, these thunderheads. Love it, love it. So they buy out companies that are in trouble, and number one, they may try and turn these companies around, or they'll try and get them back in shape and then sell them for a big profit. Okay, you might think that might not be quite as risky as a venture capital firm, right? Still risky though. What happens if they can't turn it around for money? Bankruptcy, right? You could be losing a lot of money in those investments. Number three, more noisy trucks. There goes a big Pepsi truck. I am right by the freeway, guys. Hopefully it's not too annoying, but again, I think that's worth it. Number three, private credit. What do these do? They give funds. They fund the buyouts, like for instance in private equity firms. They will fund those buyouts, okay? So those are the three parts of private equity: venture capital firms, private equity firms, and private credit that funds those private equity firms, all right? Is it worth it? There's a lot of risk involved. And you know what they're saying is that, first of all, if you guys are seeing me for the first time, this is a channel for people on moderate income. And yes, I try and get nice views in my videos like that. Love it. If this is something you might be interested in, think about subscribing and like the video as well. So what they're saying, and I got this article from a online place called Marketplace, they're saying that employers/administrators may be hesitant due to legal liability. What does that mean? Well, legal liability. They could sue these firms for a myriad of things. If they, let's say Vanguard, let's say Fidelity opened up private equity, private investors, there's a lot of different variables that could come into that they could open them up to legal suits for these investments, okay? So even if they open these markets up, how many firms, or on top of that, firms like Vanguard or Fidelity are willing to do that? And even more risky for employers, opening that up in, say, their company 401k plan, right? Last thing what they want to do is to throw more legal issues, potential legal issues in with their investments or just their company in general, okay? So what do you guys think? Is it a good idea or not? Well, here's some pros and cons. First of all, here's a pro. You have access to high yielding investment options. Absolutely you do. Okay, now, fund shares, which are available now, which I mentioned earlier in the video, that's where you're totally splitting the risk among thousands, hundreds or thousands of other people when you're investing in, say, venture capital firms, okay? But if you are doing it just on a one-on-one basis, sorry, had to get out of that barista's way, then that's different. You're taking a lot of that risk. Whoa, a lot of wind now. Let me get back here. You are taking a lot of that risk on yourself as an individual investor, okay? Is that something you are willing to do on your own? I don't think it's a good idea, guys. But hey, the pros, access to high yielding investment options. Here's another pro. Yeah, there's a high reward. If you hit these investments right, there is a big reward for doing this, okay? But what are the cons? Cons, number one, buyer beware. It's not like you're investing in, this is even so much riskier than if you're investing in the S&P 500, right? Just if you were 100% stocks, that's risky enough. Times that by like 50. That's how much risk you're going to be doing if you are a sole investor in private equity, okay? What's another con for it? Well, on the pro side, you've got high reward. On the con side, you've got high risk. Oh my God, they found me. They're coming after me. Should I run? No, I'm going to finish the video. Things I do for you guys. So, is it worth it? In this chaotic video, if you can even understand what I'm talking about, is it worth it to invest in private equity as a single person, married person, whatever, but I'm talking about just one single investor? Is that worth it to be investing in all this stuff? You got enough risk as it is, guys. That's the way I look at it. Let me know if you think differently. But if you're just investing in stocks or even just bonds, if you are investing, period, depending on the allocation, there's enough risk in that already, right? Or do you want to times again by 50, maybe by 20, or even by 100, your amount of risk? Oh, these clouds are getting bigger. Look at that. They're getting bigger. Unbelievable. I think we're in for a downpour here. Do you want to have even more risk in your portfolio? Now, for those of you who are already invested 100% in stocks, okay, you've got a strong stomach. Maybe you'd be okay with this. But I think, just my opinion, again, let me know if I'm wrong, I think most people on a moderate income retirement are not going to want all that risk. If you are a big cat investor, okay, this is already available to you. That's what hedge funds are for, right? So yeah, you've already got your risk baked in there. But if you were a normal investor, and especially one like me who is pretty risk averse, is that something you're really going to even consider? And on top of what I mentioned earlier, are companies even going to want to include this in their investments for individual investors? And are employers going to want to do it? I don't know. So even though the current administration says, yeah, man, open it up to everyone, not just the millionaires and the billionaires, and not just the people doing the high air balloons up above the clouds there, do you think this is a good idea? I, for one, do not. Leave me your opinions, guys. I'd love to know. And I'd love to know if you got through this video, if it was so annoying that you threw the phone down and you're stomping on it now for all this noise and everything. Hey, but for me, it's worth it. You guys know, man, I love scenery. I love big clouds. And now, of course, we've got a train coming by. All right, I think this is time for me to cut the whole thing off. I'll show you guys what I mean here. Outside of Starbucks in Mojave. I'm going to get in to get my venti. Whatever.